Is gospel music becoming demonic?
What do I have to do to not be featured on a Mary Mary track? Hello and welcome to the IN2G SHOW. I'm Luke White.
And I'm Sunshine, and we're here on our second episode bringing you the biggest stories in Christendom worldwide.
So what's first?
First up, we have a kind of story from a woman called Helen Baylor, who was a backup singer for Shaka Khan, I think 30 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like 30 years ago. And she has basically been saying that she feels there are a lot of demonic influences within the music industry. Definitely within the secular music industry, she's saying. But now she thinks it's crossing over into gospel music. And this kind of all branched off from Shaka Khan saying that there's so much sacrifices of lives that is happening in the music industry that has happened and will happen. She talked specifically about Whitney Houston, which we all know, but we were thinking of lists like Jimi Hendrix,
Amy Winehouse,
Michael Jackson,
and the families of a lot of these stars like Jennifer Hudson and her
Usher
family,
Raymond.
Usher Raymond, even Dr. Dre. So there's a lot of death that seems to follow around some of these superstars.
Definitely. So we're trying to think, how is that kind of crossing over into gospel music? Well, if we think about it, the kind of companies that are doing gospel music, so kind of Sony and all of these companies, Christians haven't really got a separate company to do gospel music. They're just kind of branches off of the main companies. And the main companies, as Helen Baylor is saying, their bottom line is to make money. It's about greed and it's about money. And if you're not making money...
So you're telling me that I could be listening to a gospel artist thinking that their roots and everything that they stand for is all holy and good, and really they're just a branch of the beast. So
well, I'm not saying that their intentions aren't good, but the company that they're a part of, their bottom line is to make money.
Wow.
No artist is going to stay on the shelves if they're not selling. That is the kind of bottom line of it all. And Helen Baylor, who was part of the music industry, became addicted to drugs, has fought addiction to painkillers all through the years. She's seen it first-hand experience. And she is saying that these things are kind of crossing over into gospel artists. They too are worried about how we're going to pay the bills. We need to stay current. Maybe I should feature like a rapper. Maybe I should feature Kanye West or Neo on my album to sell.
Interesting. I mean, fundamentally, it is a job. You know,
yeah.
And everyone does have to get paid, and it's a difficult one. When is it ministry? When is it work? How does the two work together?
I don't know, because even in some churches you find it difficult. So musicians, they're kind of saying we shouldn't pay our musicians because they should be doing it for the glory of God. But if you're doing this for something that is full-time, you have dedicated your gifts to God full-time, and people are getting paid for it in the music industry, how do you not compromise them?
But the problem is you venture onto making church a business, because if now you're being paid, it means that a certain level is expected of you, which means that we're now going to hire and fire, and it means that job specs need to be written up. It means that you have to be held more accountable for what you're doing, and then the whole church structure just becomes a business. I don't know. That's the fear.
That is the fear. I mean, it's a very complicated issue. And like we're saying, so many people want to kind of get into the music industry. People in our own churches, look at X Factor, American X Factor, all these programs. People want to become famous. Well, maybe not famous, but they want to use their talents. And people in the church want to do it too. And I think some people, like Fred Hammond and Kurt Franklin, people are gifted with the talent to reach the masses.
Right.
So what is the solution? I mean, do Christians need to kind of make their own companies and kind of branch out and be completely separate?
Well,
I don't know.
I think I'm going to go on The Voice.
But
apart from that...
But if you don't want to go on The Voice, if you have an opinion that you think might help, what do you think about it? We want to throw it out to you, watching IN2G. What do you think? Do you think that we should be starting our own companies? Do you think that we should be part of the secular companies? Where do you think we should go with this? We want you to kind of comment.
Let us know on our Facebook page. Tweet us. But most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And leave comments below.
Yeah, let us know what you think. For our next story, we are sticking with the music industry. And I want to know, we want to know, the world wants to know, what do you have to do not to be featured on a Mary Mary track? Now, why do I ask that question?
Yes, why are you asking that?
Well, back in the day when I used to love listening to Mary, I remember it used to be generally in the summer. The grass was green, the sun was up. I would lie in the meadows and plug the first generation iPod into my ears, and I would listen to wonderful songs. And I remember one track in particular, which featured a star who I thought was fantastic. And then when I looked further into the credits, it was none other than Neo, N-E-Y-O. Neo was on the track.
Like Crazy Love, Neo.
Crazy Love, You're One in a Million, Neo. You know, yes, the very same
Back to
Neo.
What You Know. That's an album one, so you might not know that one.
I don't know that one. So Neo, I'm thinking to myself, now hold on a minute, Mary, because I think they're both called Mary.
They're not called Mary, but it's kind of named after Mary Magdalene and Mary Martha, like Mary Mother of Jesus. So they're bringing the two together.
Very smart.
You learn something new every day.
So Mary and Mary, they seem to think that it's okay to use these secular artists in their songs. And for me, I'm not quite sure that that's the way they should be going.
I have to agree with you on this one. I mean, they had another song called Super Friends, which featured David Banner, the rapper. And one of his lines in the song is, people think I'm a pimp.
No, go on.
Okay. People think I'm a pimp, but I'm trying to be in Christ like real life. Oh! But that is what he's referring himself to a pimp, what people think about him. He says people think that I'm doing this drug lifestyle, but you know, on the inside. And I'm thinking, well, a lot of people in the Christian world who are secular artists do kind of separate their inner life from the kind of job that they do. And they're saying that they don't have any correlation.
It's a tricky one. I don't know if you've seen recently, to bring it right up to date, Beyonce, good friend of mine. You're
just smiling thinking about it, aren't you?
No. Beyonce recently has done a lovely photo shoot for GQ
It was
magazine.
GQ, yep. She's on the front cover.
She's on the front cover, and you know they obviously caught her, you know, unaware because she's not wearing much.
In a state of undress.
It wasn't her fault, I'm sure. She's just got a small
leopard print panties on and a kind of football jersey that's been cut to kind of show the underparts of her breasts.
Yes, and it's terrible. It's a terrible thing. But the fact of the matter is she considers herself a Christian. She openly says she's a Christian.
She's donated money to the building of churches in her local area in Texas.
Whenever she wins an award, she's quick to thank God. You know, she would say, and she has said, that she is a Christian. The question I want to ask is she? Is she? I mean, this picture is pretty... This photo on the front of GQ is pretty racy stuff.
It is pretty racy. And for me, I was quite surprised when I saw it because I never really had Beyonce down as the kind of naked to sell a record type thing. And I think it comes into she needs to sell. For Beyonce, she's been out of the music industry for a while. She's had a baby. She's got Super Bowl coming up, which has the biggest audience of any program worldwide. And she needs to show, do you know what? I'm still current. I'm still out there. But for us as Christians, and she's putting herself as a Christian, are we supposed to look up to her and say, well, we can kind of do whatever we want in our public life, in our jobs. We can compromise because in my heart, I know that I serve God.
And this is the problem. Where does your Christianity come into conflict with other areas of your life?
Yeah.
How do we know a Christian? Should we be able to tell a Christian just by looking at them, by listening to them? What are the defining characteristics and the defining marks of a Christian? We would love you to tell us because Neo, Beyonce, Mary, and her friend Mary, they're all really confusing the issue.
Yes, it's a very thin line, and I think a lot of people, I want to know. And if you have the answer, let us know. Look us up on our
Facebook page, tweet us, but most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We send you emails, YouTube sends you emails and let you know when we have produced a new video. So
say
please,
it again, subscribe to where?
YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is essential.
Okay, so that is the end of our IN2G show, our second episode. I have been Sunshine.
And I am Luke White. And we are encouraging you to live a better life.